Well, it was a hot day, but you know, didn't have much going on, so I decided to shoot the shotgun. I was trying to get a target about 75-100 yards away. I'm not really sure exactly how far. But I shot 5 rounds of Foster Slugs, which is about all I had on hand, and missed. So rather than being frustrated and dismayed, I went down to the shop and I made a bunch of hot glue bonded shot shells. And as I'll show you, I was able to hit the target with one of them. My shotgun, I only have a fiber optic sight on the front now. I used to have 2 little greens on the back and 1 red in the front, and the green ones just vibrated and fell loose and everything. I took them off, so I didn't really have a good way of judging my elevation. So I was shooting low. When I went down to look at my shots, you'll see that I actually was dead on. I was, well, you won't see, I saw that I was making holes in the stump underneath the jug. So I was getting real close to it, within about 6 inches of it, but I was low. Once I knew that, with the bonded shot shells, I was able to accommodate for that and land one of them on target. It was pretty cool. Well, I shot my last Foster Slugs a minute ago trying to do a long-range target shot, and it frustrated me that I couldn't hit what I was aiming at. So, can you guess what time it is? It's time for some hot glue shot shell slugs, huh? Using the old Federal multi-purpose load. All you need is a razor knife and a hot glue gun, and you're good to go. So while the hot glue gun is heating up, this is the time to slice and dice. And the best way is, you'll notice there's a little raised area on the crimp. That's the easiest part to cut off. So all you really got to do is just, once you get a feel for it, it goes pretty fast, but you rotate the shell against the blade. And that first one's always a little slower than all the others. And I would keep the shot shell upright because, you know, otherwise you'll end up spilling your crap everywhere. And repeat 24 more times. Alright, now once you've got, you know, as many of these holes opened up as you want, and you got all your shot in there, the way I do it, I'll just show you my technique, is I squirt some hot glue in first, okay, just enough to just put some on the bottom, not a bunch, okay, then I just use my hands, I don't even, you know, use a spoon or anything, and I push that in there, and what you find is that if you get the right amount of glue in there, which might take you a few tries to start seeing how much you really need, you're going to be able to get like a hydraulic action when you squeeze the BBs. You're going to squeeze them up, and it's going to actually force the glue in between all the BBs, and if you get it right, you're not going to get much loss on the BBs, in the sense that they'll all bind together. The hotter the glue is, the better. You know, some glue guns are ridiculously hot. Those are probably the best ones, or if you let your gun heat up for a really long time. But you see, I've got them all pushed into the shell, and I can tap it, and I'm getting a few coming out, right? Which actually, you don't want to overdo it. You want to keep the amount going in about the same or less than the amount coming out. And then at the end, just using the hot glue gun, no other tool, because you don't want to make a big mess, right? You just put some right in the center, and then you kind of rotate it and you touch it along the edge. Now once this dries, okay, this will make a nice protective layer that will make sure that you don't have any primer strikes, you know, in the tubular magazine. Of course, if you're loading these one at a time, that's never an issue. And you set it aside and you keep going. As you can see, it's very fast. It's way, way faster than any other method you can think of. You know, if you want to, I'll just do another one real quick just to demonstrate again that it's pretty darn fast. So you put in a sufficient amount of glue. I don't even know how much that would be, you know. Let's say a quarter of an inch of glue, so it fills a quarter of an inch. And you put BBs all the way up to the top. Don't worry about them all sticking. They don't have to. What you're trying to do is get like a piston effect using the BBs and your thumb to compress them together. See, I'm not pressing the shell down against anything. I don't want a primer strike. Then you dump out the ones that don't stick. And as you can see, I mean, that's a fair amount of BBs that just stuck in there. That's about half. And then if you do another glob like that, I'd say, you know, about 1/4 of an inch or so. So once again, just pick up the BBs, drop them right in, right up to the top, overfill it, squish. Okay? You're going to get a real nice hydraulic effect of squishing the glue up between all the little voids. You can dump it out again. You know, you might use 2 good loads. You might take 3 good loads of glue to get the effect you want. But the idea is to get the glue to squish in between all the little BBs, all the little pellets. Okay? And there we go. See? Look. It's not falling out. And this is when I put a big blob right in the center, and then I just rotate the shell around and make sure. And you don't have to worry about making the shells too tall, because these are short shells. Most shotguns will, no problem with these little slightly raised up amount of glue, you know, as far as chambering and or putting them in the tubular magazine. And just keep going to town until you get them all. Okay, so I'm ready to have a little bit of fun. And if you ever priced out shotgun shells, you know they're pretty cheap, you know, about 20 cents a piece. So it's not bad compared to a lot of ammo to have some fun out there with these. I want to give you some disclaimers. Okay, anything you do that involves making improvised munitions like this, you do at your own risk. I try to provide you some good instructions and some guides, and I'll be glad to show you how these work. But whatever you do at your own risk. I don't assume any responsibility for anything that happens to you. And if you overload your shells, you put too much powder, you put too much shot for the powder load, you try to make a high brass shell out of a low brass shell, your shotgun blows up, tears your face off, you have no one to blame but yourself. Okay. However, if you make them the way I showed you, you can expect perfectly safe, reliable results from these bonded shot shells. So let's go blow some stuff up, see how they work. Here I am in my backyard. I was shooting out here earlier with the Foster Slugs. I want to show you how my sights are set up on this Remington 870. I've just got a fiber optic in the front. Now on the back, that one just fell apart. So I have no rear sight. So when I was shooting at the target down here, which I'll show you as soon as I get the camera clamped in. Let me zoom in so you can see. See the water jug? There it is, guys. Let's get in a little closer so you can really see if I hit it, okay? Alright, let's lock the camera in. Alright. So there's the water jug, alright? And when I was shooting at it, you know, I couldn't tell what I was hitting or missing with the slugs. I missed 5 times in a row. But when I went down there, I'm finding holes dead center in that stump right below the jug. So now I know I need to aim a little high to hit it. So I think I have a fairly decent chance using these bonded shot shells. So let's see what I can come up with here. Let me jack that up just a little bit more, because when I shoot it's going to wiggle. See what I can do, okay? Oh, a dust cloud kind of shows you what happens, huh? Let's try another shot. I have a feeling I'm still shooting way low. Kind of handicapped here. I'm just going to keep shucking shells in here. If I have to shoot all 25, that's what I'll do. Let me load up 5 more. You guys just hang in there. Okay. 4 + 1 in place. Alright, let's try again, huh? I'm going to try and aim just a little bit higher. camera's not getting totally screwed here. And I want to see that jug blow up pretty bad. You know that? Did it! Ha ha! Cool! So I took a few shots, I'll admit. Alright? Looks like I got a couple more shots left in the gun here. But that was cool, huh? So about 7 shots, 8 shots, whatever it was. So it is possible to hit something at pretty close to 7,500 yards, whatever that is. As you can see, back it up again, you can see it's pretty good ways away. Way down in the woods there. So I'd say it's a pretty decent shot, considering how screwed up the optics are on this gun.